They are ancient travelers, swimming across entire continents, navigating by Earth's magnetic field, and returning to the very beach where they were born, even after decades and thousands of miles across the ocean. Among millions of marine creatures, they are all 7 species of sea turtle and their amazing migration routes. Sea turtles belong to the superfamily Cheloniodea, a group of turtles that have undergone strong selective pressures to adapt to life in the ocean. Within this superfamily, 2 families still exist today: Dermacolidae and Cheloniidae. Within this group, Cheloniidae is the more species-rich family, including the genera Colonia, Eretmochelys, Caretta, and Lepidochelys. Each group carries its own distinctive traits but shares a common evolutionary adaptation: a flat, streamlined, wide, and rounded shell, designed to reduce drag while swimming. The front limbs are powerful, shaped like paddles, while the smaller hind limbs still play a key role in steering. The most well-known name is the green sea turtle, the sole representative of the genus Colonia. They are among the most ecologically influential sea turtle species in the ocean ecosystem. The name green sea turtle doesn't come from the color of their shell, but rather from the distinctive green hue of the fat layer beneath it, a key biological marker. This species has been classified as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Additionally, it is listed in Appendix F of the Convention on International Trade in endangered species of wild fauna and flora, meaning international trade involving sea turtle products is strictly banned or heavily restricted. Green sea turtles have an extremely wide distribution, occupying most tropical and subtropical marine waters across the globe. 2 major populations with clear differences in mitochondrial DNA are the Atlantic population and the Eastern Pacific population. This genetic split stems from geographic barriers such as the southern tips of South America and Africa, where cold ocean waters lack warm corridors for turtles to pass through. Some of the world's largest populations are commonly found in Australia's Great Barrier Reef and the Caribbean Sea. During the nesting season, females often come ashore at night to dig nests and lay eggs. They undertake long-distance migrations between their feeding grounds and nesting beaches. Green sea turtles from New Caledonia frequently swim to the Great Barrier Reef to nest, a journey ranging from 1,200 to 2,680 kilometers, and then return the same way. In many cases, females from the southern Great Barrier Reef population show a strong attachment to feeding areas located as far as 1,200 kilometers from their nesting sites. Green sea turtles use Earth's magnetic field as an internal map. Hatchlings are able to sense the intensity and angle of the magnetic field right after emerging, helping them determine their swimming direction. Adults also rely on magnetic signatures to return to their birthplace, a phenomenon known as natal homing. They also use the position of the sun to orient themselves while traveling across the ocean surface. After hatching, the young turtles crawl across the beach into the ocean, then spend their first 3 to 5 years in open pelagic waters. There they attach to floating seaweed mats like sargassum, which provide food, shelter, and protection. During this phase, they are mostly omnivorous and subject to the harsh conditions of the open sea. As they mature, the turtles slowly move toward coastal habitats, bays, lagoons, and shallow reefs where seagrass meadows thrive. In these areas, their diet shifts entirely to a plant-based one, feeding mainly on seagrass and occasionally algae. Next is the representative of the genus Eretmochelys, the hawksbill sea turtle. This is one of the most iconic tropical sea turtle species in the world, found primarily in the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, and Indian Ocean. They are commonly seen in nearshore ecosystems such as coral reefs, rocky outcrops, river mouths, and lagoons. These environments offer ideal living conditions in terms of terrain structure, temperature, and food availability. Like the green sea turtle, they return with remarkable precision to the very spot where they hatch to lay their eggs. In the Pacific region of the United States, Hawaii serves as a key nesting ground, with about 10 to 25 females nesting each year. In the eastern Pacific, approximately 700 females nest annually across the coastline from Mexico to Peru. Their nesting sites are spread across tropical beaches and islands throughout the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, and Red Sea. After hatching, young hawksbills enter an offshore life stage lasting from 1 to 5 years, drifting with ocean currents and floating algae mats such as sargassum. As adults, they migrate back to coastal coral reef areas, where they spend most of their remaining lives. Crevices in rocks and coral reefs serve as primary shelters, protecting them from predators and harsh environmental conditions. Some individuals from Cuba have been recorded traveling over 2,450 kilometers to the waters off Colombia. In the Solomon Islands, tag turtles have shown movement ranging from 800 to 1,650 kilometers between the Arnavan Islands and offshore northern Australia. Meanwhile, populations in Hawaii tend to make shorter migrations, mainly within the island chain. Hawksbill sea turtles are omnivorous, but in many areas, their primary diet consists of sea sponges, making them the only sea turtle species known to thrive primarily on this food source. With a narrow head and a curved beak resembling that of a hawk, they can reach food hidden deep within coral reef crevices that few other species can access. Thanks to this specialized diet, the hawksbill sea turtle plays a keystone role in coral reef ecosystems, helping to manage dominant sponge populations and allowing less competitive coral species to grow. This behavior supports biodiversity and ecosystem stability in reef communities, while enhancing their resilience to environmental shifts such as coral bleaching events. However, the conservation status of the hawksbill sea turtle is currently listed as critically endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. The primary reason is illegal trade in tortoiseshell, which is used to make jewelry and decorative crafts. Additionally, the species is often caught unintentionally as bycatch in gill nets, trawl nets, and other types of fishing gear. Other threats include ghost nets, coral reef degradation from climate change, plastic pollution in the ocean, and the increasing spread of fibropapillomatosis. NOAA Fisheries and its partners are implementing a range of coordinated conservation programs, from behavioral studies and satellite tracking to improvements in fishing gear to reduce bycatch, and the designation of critical habitat in areas like the waters, off Mona and Manado Islands in Puerto Rico. At the same time, the Inter-American Convention for the Protection and Conservation of Sea Turtles is providing a vital legal framework for regional cooperation in protecting the hawksbill sea turtle across its broad intercontinental range. The flatback sea turtle is the only species in the genus Natitor, though it was previously classified under the genus Colonia. The name flatback comes from its unique shell, which is flat with a slight upward curve and ranges in color from pale olive green to gray, while its plastron has a creamy yellow hue. What makes the flatback especially distinct is its very thin shell, lacking the protective keratin layer found in other sea turtles, making it more vulnerable to injury. Even a gentle nudge from a flipper against its plastron can leave scratches. This fragility may explain why the species tends to avoid coral reefs and prefers soft, sandy nearshore environments. Flatback sea turtles are endemic nesters in northern Australia, with all known nesting sites located on the country's mainland beaches and nearby islands. They have the smallest range of any sea turtle species, occurring only in the coastal waters of northern Australia, southern Indonesia, and southern Papua New Guinea. Their exclusive nesting zone stretches along Australia's northern coast, from latitude 22 degrees south in Western Australia to 24.8 degrees south in Queensland. Unlike most other sea turtles, they do not go through an open ocean phase or undertake long migrations. From hatchling to adult, they stay on the continental shelf in shallow waters less than 61 meters deep, favoring murky coastal waters, bays, nearshore reefs, and seagrass beds. Each nesting season, females crawl ashore on soft, lightly disturbed beaches to dig nests and lay eggs, then return to their nearshore waters. The absence of an open ocean life stage sets the flatback apart from other sea turtles. Is this an evolutionary advantage or a limitation? Both juvenile and adult flatbacks display unique resting behaviors. Young turtles often sleep while floating at the water's surface, while adults shelter for hours underwater in rock crevices or along reef ledges before surfacing for air. Their ability to hold their breath depends on their activity level. When stressed or stimulated, they need to surface more frequently. At times, flatback sea turtles can be seen basking at the surface, with seabirds occasionally perching on their backs. The remaining subfamily is Caretinae, which includes the genera Caretta and Lepidochelys. A study published in the journal Molecular Phylogenetics and Evolution in 2024 used genetic data from over 300 individual sea turtles, representing each species, to construct a highly reliable phylogenetic tree. The results revealed that the subgenus Lepidochelys, represented by Kemp's Ridley and Olive Ridley, was the earliest to diverge within Chelonidae, around 80 million years ago. Following that split were Caretta, Colonia, and Eretmochelys, which branched off approximately 60 to 70 million years ago. The loggerhead sea turtle, a representative of the genus Caretta, is one of the most widespread sea turtle species. They have adapted to survive in a wide range of habitats, from neritic to oceanic zones, from pelagic waters to benthic seafloors, including nearshore nesting beaches. The International Union for Conservation of Nature has identified multiple regional management units for this species, including areas such as the Mediterranean Sea, the North and Northwest Atlantic, and regions across the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Both juvenile and adult individuals are found along the entire U.S. coastline, though many of the adults seen here actually migrate from places like the Bahamas, Cuba, or Mexico. In the Mediterranean, the loggerhead sea turtle is the most common sea turtle species. Populations in this region are broadly distributed, which makes them more vulnerable to fishing activities and pollution within this enclosed basin. These turtles also undertake migrations ranging from hundreds to thousands of kilometers, as revealed by satellite tracking studies. They expend significant time and energy on these intercontinental journeys between foraging grounds and nesting beaches, while also maintaining body temperature, increasing oxygen consumption (VO2), and enhancing aerobic performance. Satellite data has shown a clear correlation between body size and metabolic efficiency during migration. As cold-blooded reptiles, loggerhead sea turtles are directly influenced by temperature when it comes to their metabolism and physiology. They are exceptional navigators, using the Earth's magnetic field as a kind of geomagnetic map to locate nesting beaches. From hatching, they are already able to detect shifts in magnetic intensity and orientation, imprinting these cues into their internal map. Loggerhead sea turtles follow a complex stage-based life cycle. Hatchlings and juveniles spend their first 7 to 15 years in open ocean waters, where they hunt primarily pelagic prey and gradually develop diving capabilities. After the oceanic stage, subadult turtles, with a curved carapace length between 60 and 69.9 centimeters, begin to alternate between oceanic and neritic habitats. Once they reach adulthood, with a curved carapace length over 70 centimeters, they transition fully to neritic zones, where they hunt benthic prey, equipped with strong diving skills and powerful bite force. However, research in the Mediterranean has introduced the concept of a relaxed life history model. Juveniles may not necessarily go through a distinct oceanic phase after hatching and can instead shift early to a benthic feeding strategy. Studies from the Adriatic and Tyrrhenian seas have found no significant differences in feeding behavior among juveniles, subadults, and adults. All feed on benthic prey, like crustaceans and mollusks. This finding challenges the traditional view of a required oceanic phase and highlights the increased exposure of juveniles to marine debris. Plastic was found in the stomachs of 34.8% of individuals in the Adriatic and up to 91.5% in the Tyrrhenian Sea. The olive ridley sea turtle, also known as the Pacific ridley sea turtle, is one of the smallest sea turtle species. The name olive ridley comes from the turtle's distinctive olive green shell, a small, smooth, heart-shaped carapace that helps them move effortlessly through ocean currents. This species is widely distributed across tropical and subtropical waters of the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, and Indian Ocean. Olive Ridley sea turtles inhabit coastal waters in at least 80 countries. While they are generally considered open ocean dwellers, they frequently move into shallow coastal waters to forage, particularly along the continental shelf. During foraging, they can dive as deep as 152 meters to reach bottom-dwelling invertebrates. As omnivores, olive Ridley sea turtles feed on algae, crustaceans, jellyfish, sea sponges, mollusks, and small fish. This varied diet allows them to thrive in a range of environments, from the open ocean to murky nearshore seabeds. They are known for their wide-ranging and often unpredictable movement patterns. With the help of satellite tracking, scientists have documented long-distance migrations by both males and females, including journeys from nesting beaches along the Pacific coast of Costa Rica to the deep central Pacific Ocean. The largest arrabata events have been documented in Mexico, India, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. On India's beaches alone, the average number of nests each year exceeds 521,000. In some cases, the nesting density becomes so high that newly arriving turtles accidentally dig up earlier nests while creating their own. The olive Ridley sea turtle shares a close evolutionary relationship with the Kemp's Ridley sea turtle, also known as the Atlantic Ridley sea turtle. Both species are among the smallest of all sea turtles and are well known for exhibiting arrabata nesting behavior. However, unlike the more numerous and widespread olive Ridley, Kemp's Ridley is the most at-risk sea turtle species in the world. The International Union for Conservation of Nature classifies this species as critically endangered. Under the United States Endangered Species Act, it is also listed as endangered throughout its entire range. Kemp's Ridley sea turtles are found primarily in nearshore waters of the Gulf of Mexico and the northwestern Atlantic Ocean. Individuals have also been recorded as far north as Maine, United States, and Nova Scotia, Canada. Some sources note their presence along the Atlantic coast of the United States and in parts of the Mediterranean Sea. Adult turtles mainly inhabit shallow coastal waters with sandy or muddy bottoms, rarely going deeper than 48.7 meters. Hatchlings may spend up to 10 years in the open ocean before returning to coastal areas to mature. Juveniles have been observed in places like Chesapeake Bay, Virginia. Female Kemp's Ridleys exhibit strong natal homing, returning to the exact beach where they were born to nest. During migration, they typically swim in shallow waters no deeper than 45.7 meters. Their exposure to magnetic fields while still in the egg appears to influence their magnetic navigation ability later in life. Nearly 95% of Kemp's Ridley nesting occurs on a small beach along the northeastern coast of Mexico, near the village of Rancho Nuevo in Tamaulipas. A smaller portion of nesting takes place along the central and southern Texas coast. The nesting season spans from May to July. The current population in the Gulf of Mexico is estimated to include around 5,000 adult females. Some studies estimate that about 2,500 females nest each season, with a gradual upward trend observed in recent decades. From an evolutionary perspective, Dermacolidae is considered an early diverging branch within the phylogenetic tree of the superfamily Colonioidea. This early emergence makes Dermacolidae one of the oldest, most distinct sea turtle lineages, evolutionarily independent and isolated from Chelonidae, the family of hard-shelled sea turtles known for their higher diversity and broader geographic range. Historically, the Dermacolidae family included at least 7 different genera, but all have gone extinct, leaving only one remaining genus, Dermocoles. Within this genus, a single species has survived to the present day, the leatherback sea turtle, the largest sea turtle on Earth. The leatherback sea turtle has the widest distribution of all sea turtle species. They are present in all tropical and subtropical oceans, ranging from approximately 71 degrees north to 47 degrees south, including the subarctic region. This species primarily lives in open ocean waters, and their nesting sites are located on beaches close to deep water, rarely near coral reefs. Tropical and subtropical beaches are their main nesting areas, with coastal zones such as California, Oregon, Washington, and Sandy Point in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands designated as critical habitat to protect their foraging and migratory corridors. Leatherback sea turtles migrate extremely long distances. On average, they migrate about 5,955 kilometers each way. Some individuals travel more than 16,000 kilometers per year between nesting and foraging grounds, greater movement than any other known reptile. One individual was recorded traveling 7,000 kilometers in a single journey. This adaptation also supports their ability to dive deep and travel long distances. The leatherback sea turtle holds the record for the deepest dives among sea turtles, reaching depths of over 1,200 meters. They can also hold their breath for more than 85 minutes. They store oxygen efficiently in both blood and muscle, with myoglobin levels twice as high as in hard-shelled turtles, supporting aerobic activity, especially during long-distance migrations across oceans. The leatherback is currently listed as endangered worldwide by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the United States Endangered Species Act, and is protected under CITES Appendix 3 and CEPA-AW Appendix 2. Major threats include bycatch and gillnets and longline fisheries, plastic pollution, vessel strikes, and climate-related changes. These changes cause sex ratio imbalances due to nest temperatures and pose severe extinction risks for Pacific leatherback populations, with more than 80% decline in the Western Pacific and over 97% in the Eastern Pacific. In addition to sharp population declines, the species also has low genetic diversity due to a bottleneck event during the recent Ice Age. Mitochondrial DNA analysis shows that the difference between Atlantic and Pacific populations is only 0.0081, significantly lower than that of hard-shelled sea turtles. NOAA Fisheries, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and international organizations are working together to protect the species. Efforts include turtle excluder devices, critical habitat designations, the Eastern Tropical Pacific Seascape Initiative, and IUCN Resolution 4.111, all focused on safeguarding leatherback migratory routes and habitats. For over 100 million years, the 7 species of sea turtles have quietly kept their promise to the Earth, returning to the very place where they were born to continue the cycle of life. But in an era of plastic pollution, climate change, and industrial fishing, those ancient migratory routes are growing quieter with each passing season. Will future generations still witness the awe-inspiring sight of thousands of turtles coming ashore under the light of a full moon? Share your thoughts in the comments, follow the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the fascinating surprises coming in our next video.